And go. And welcome back to the New Generation Challenge podcast for a brand new season. We just finished Challenge 40, Battle of the Eras. And now we're on to the Challenge All Stars Rivals, Season 5. Titi, excited to watch this?
I'm super excited for this season. I think we have a lot of good returns that we haven't seen in a while. And we'll have to talk about everybody on the cast.
Yeah, I agree. So we're recording this one day after the first episode. So we're gonna give mostly it'll be a cast analysis. We'll just give, as anyone who watched the episode knows, not really a lot happened. It was more talking about each rivalry and really cast focused. Um, they did do a daily, which I'll add a bit to at the end, but that was really about it. There was no elimination. We ended the episode before they started discussing anything related to strategy. So our first real game episode of the season will come next week. But today we're going to talk about each pair of rivals and how we think they're going to do in the game.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this cast, and I'm excited to see how this season goes.
Yeah, same. Ready to get started with the first pair?
Yes.
All right. So going in the order that you did the slideshow, we start with Adam and Steve.
Yeah, this is kind of a newer story compared to some of the on this season. We saw that on All Star they had or Steve took Adam's star or something like
Yeah.
that, which started their rivalry. But we saw these guys perform very well on All Stars 4, especially Steve with his finals appearance. But I mean, if you look at Adam, he is from Road Rules, The Quest. He has 4 seasons completed and an elimination record of 1-1. He is a champion and he won his one final appearance.
Yeah, definitely looks like a very strong team coming in. Um, there's a good case to be made, probably that Steve would have been a champion last season if it was a guys winner and a girls winner, but Loyal just dominated that final.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it'll be interesting to see Adam back. I know last season in 40, the big surprise kind of in the cast was Avery being back. Adam
Mm-hmm.
now is coming back after was on All Stars, but he hasn't been on the main show in quite a while, and he's since in a romantic relationship with Avery. So that'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see that both of them are returning to the challenge and are a couple now.
Yeah. We do see that Steve was also from the same Road Rule season as Adam, so we know that probably have known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Steve has done 3 and has an elimination record, wins and 2 losses. He made his first and only final last season on All Stars 4, but he has no championships at the moment.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the two of them play together. It is interesting that, like you say, that it's a more recent rivalry. It's probably one of the few, if only, All Stars rivalries that we really see, since that's more of at least the first 4 All Star seasons, with the exception of Loyal and Karamuria, because that's never going to go well, is more of
Yeah.
just a relaxed and mellow environment. Most rivalries in this come from the main show. So to have two players who both could have made a great case coming into the final couple of episodes as likely winners of All Stars 4, now having a rivalry back on All Stars 5 is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for more fresh rivalries. And we'll talk about the other ones in a little bit.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the next team. And speaking of fresh rivalries, we have, I guess, kind of controversial within this cast. I know the fan base is kind of divided on this, but we have an Era 4 rivalry for the first time, really, in All Stars. I mean, there's a lot of them for the first time in All Stars, but we never really saw players that new. You look at like All Stars 3, and it was kind of, oh, Wes and Kayla are on this season. They're too young for this show. Now we've gone way past Era 3.
Yeah, and I'm just saying I made a mistake. Fessie's original season was on Big Brother.
True.
So ignore that part. But we see Amber is also obviously from Big Brother. She's done 3 seasons and has an elimination record of 5-2. She did win her rookie season with that being her only finals appearance. And then with Fessy, also from Big Brother, he's done 4 seasons, has an elimination record of 5-1, no championships, but he has been in 2 finals.
Yeah, this is going to be a great team to watch. I know in Modern Challenge, both of them are um, very big names in the Air show, players that you expect to be just on season after season and going deep season after season. I know that Chauncey Amber's significant other has had some challenges with people from his era on his last season. So who knows if that will play into anything this season or not, if she still has strong relationships within the newer players, or if that's gone out the door with no fault of her own while Amber was raising her daughter. But there could be some interesting storylines going back to 39.
Yeah, I mean, we know their rivalry comes from, was it double
Yeah,
agents? And after,
when
well,
Fessy
it
want
continued, but
both of them being
um
in Big Brother, Fessy didn't trust Amber and wanted to try to get her into elimination.
and also at the final or before, I think it was at the final, but he was partnered with Amber, or no, it was right before the final, and he like sent himself into elimination to be paired up with Casey instead of her.
Yeah.
And she kind of felt betrayed on that. But I think the team, like you said, is we've seen do very well in the last few seasons. And I expect them to go pretty far. I mean, Fessy has a great elimination record, and so does Amber. So, but I don't know. The one thing that I am going to be interested by is seeing how the new era, like era 4, like all stars, I guess you would say, are going to do in an environment like the All Stars show.
Yeah.
Because we know it's obviously it's not as physical. There's more like carnival game
Yeah.
things instead of just running through somebody in a hall brawl. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do and how they work together.
It will be. But I mean, if anything has a lot of competitions that is that sort of style, it's Big Brother. So
That's true. That's very true.
they
I don't
probably
watch Big
have,
Brother, so I
I
don't know.
don't either. I've tried to watch it for like one day.
I tried watching one episode and like 10 minutes and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. As another player has some history with that show too coming up in this season that I know
Yeah.
you and I both like. Moving on to our next team. Anissa and Ashley. This is going to be wild. We just talked about All Stars being calm. I don't think it will be with these two.
Yeah, I mean, we have Anissa, which she is an Era 1 OG. Her original season was The Real World in Chicago. She's done 18 seasons. And oh, by the way, I counted all the flagship and all-star seasons. I did not count the champs stars, but I did
Sounds
count
good.
world championship. So,
Perfect.
um, and she's done 18 seasons with 15 elimination wins and 14 losses. She has not gotten a championship and she's been in 3 finals. And then my favorite person in this cast, I will say, has to be Ashley Mitchell.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
so
just going to
glad.
interrupt. I'm not the only one because I was talking to Bruce recently, host of Tribal Council Chat with me, and saying, is it weird that I both like Ashley and hate Amanda at the same time? I guess I'm not the only one in that camp.
Well, I'm also in that
Yeah.
category, but Ashley is from the Real World Explosion. She's done 9 seasons. She has an elimination record of 4 wins and 5 losses, with 2 championships and 3 finals appearance. But yeah, I'm so, so happy that we have Ashley back. I feel like we need her. I love her confessionals. I love her input on things. And I'm kind of glad she's not with Amanda. 'Cause, again, don't like Amanda, but I love Ashley.
And
So
Ashley is also the highest earner on the female side in the history of the challenge.
yeah. Um,
Only two
I
wins compared to some guys with like 7 in the case of Bananas and 5 with CT and Jordan. But very famous move in Final Reckoning,
Final
I think.
Reckoning, yeah.
Yeah, where Ashley becomes a millionaire in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, she became Ashley Millionaire Mitchell.
Yep.
What else was I gonna say? Well, I feel like this team, it could either be very good or very bad. Because obviously we know Ashley does well in like the puzzle. She's really good at puzzles. She's really good at like endurance. She has great cardio. Anissa, we have seen that cardio and endurance maybe isn't her like her strength, but she is a very physical competitor, so like a physical elimination where there's like contact,
Yep.
she would be very good at. But I don't know.
And
I feel
she's
like
also just good at completely random stuff in the elimination arena.
that's true. That's true. But I feel like it's gonna be funny to see this duo together.
Yes, it will be. Really looking forward to seeing both of them back, and especially Anissa was on last season, but actually returning to the challenge for the first time since 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after her exit from Spies and Allies.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have a player that I actually met in New York this year, and Ashley Kelsey, partnered with her ex, Dario.
Yeah, Ashley Kelsey is from Real World San Diego. She's done 2 seasons with one elimination win and one loss. She did win her rookie season with Team San Diego on Battle of the Seasons, and that was her only finals appearance. We also have Dario, which, like you mentioned, they were their exes. I guess their relationship didn't end on very good terms, but he is from Are You the One season 2, and he's done 4 seasons, has won one elimination, 3 losses, and has no finals appearances or championships.
Yeah, if it'll be interesting to see because they're one of a couple of teams on this cast, but there's only two or three that are actually could also do an Exodus season together, aren't just show rivals. But
Mm-hmm.
if they can put their differences aside, they're definitely one of the strongest teams here.
Absolutely. I mean, I know Ashley Kelsey is an absolute baddie. She did very, very well on Battle of the Seasons, and she looks like she's kept up with her physicality. Just seeing pictures on social media. Dario, we know he looks strong. I don't know how good he is at like the puzzles and
Yeah,
maybe the All Stars Carnival games. So we'll have to see if how he performs and if he's not doing well, if Ashley can step in and help him out.
very true. All right, so our next team moving forward, we have Beth and John A. For those who have watched episode one, this was probably the most drama that we got in the entire cast. Where they are coming back after All Stars 2, I want to say. Where,
This is the other All Stars rivalry,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, it's an All Stars rivalry where Beth wanted to get under John A's skin and said that John A was hooking up with her partner. For those of you who did not know, John A is married.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
That's
very
as big of a rivalry as you can get.
that's a very big accusation.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know the truth behind it. Did they talk about that last
they
night?
sure did.
What it did they say it was true or no?
Beth
Or
Beth that Beth indicated it was gameplay and she apologizes now.
oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've never
Anyways,
seen Beth play an old season. I've never seen her on the real world. It seems from what I hear in the community that it's very on brand for the way she plays the game. So there's certain people I always find in the challenge that you just should like even looking at 40 with like the drama that got started by other cast members with Michelle and Devin. I'm like, how did this even become a story? It's coming from Johnny Bananas. But Beth seems like she's in that category where there's just certain things you shouldn't really even pay any attention to, but it's always going to get airtime.
yeah. Has done or she's from Real World Los Angeles. This is a very old season. I think Beth might be the oldest cast member that has ever played. like at
Possibly.
the oldest age. But she's done 9 seasons with 3 elimination wins and 4 losses. She had one finals appearance, but no championship. And then Janae is from the Real World Cancun. She's done 11 seasons and has 4 elimination wins with 7 losses. And she's done, or she's had 3 finals appearances that have all been on All Stars, and she actually won All Stars 2 and 3. So I don't know. My thoughts on Beth is like I remember when I don't know which All Stars it was, but she refused to like they brought her into the game and she refused to jump off the cliff or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
think one.
But with John, I think so obviously she did very, very well on All Stars, but we saw her on USA 2 with a very early exit as well as on 40 with a very early exit.
Yeah.
I think she's one of those players that just thrives in the more carnival
Yeah, absolutely.
gameplay because when she was on the flagship, she wasn't anything impressive, you
No.
know? Um, so I don't know. We'll have to see their dynamic, especially with that big accusation of an affair when she admitted for or it not being true.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm not sure how far I'm expecting this team to go.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, Beth also just seems like an Amanda in a way
Yeah,
with
Amanda,
very
but who I always say that Amanda is kind of lacking in certain areas, and she's still in her 30s. Beth is 55 now.
yeah. But Amanda and Beth, I just kind of see like wanting wanting like drama to on TV more. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the fabricated
Yeah,
drama, so I wouldn't say I'm rooting for this team. I do kind of feel bad for John A for having to be partnered with her though.
but going back to USA 2, John A voted against Michelle first, so I'm not that sad for it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for her, but like you said, she did vote for her. I think they have probably squashed it by
Oh, I
now,
know, definitely. I was just
but
joking.
yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Moving to our next team, we have another new era team. This is a rivalry from the Challenge 39. So only one season ago on the flagship. And that is Big T and Corey Lay.
Yeah, Big T, or she came from Shipwrecked, which is a show in the UK. I've never heard of it.
I hear
Um,
it's kind of like British Survivor.
oh, okay, interesting. But she's done 5 seasons with 3 elimination wins and 5 losses. She has no championships and no finals appearances.
Yeah.
Corey is from 12 Days of Christmas. I have no clue what that is.
A dating
He's
show.
okay. He's done 2 seasons with 2 elimination wins and 1 loss. Has no championships, but he did make the final in the season 39. So that's
Yeah.
something to
This
account
team,
for.
this team, I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of a. Don't have a star yet, but a little bit of a hint from last night for those of you if you didn't watch. Spoiler alert, but this won't come out for like till 72 hours after the show's already been out. So they just missed out on making the top four against Turbo and Nani by a matter of less than a second. So they're here to compete at this sort of all stars level for sure.
Hmm. That's interesting. I mean, we know Corey's a very physical player,
Yep.
with having a lot of muscle. Big T, prior to season 30, we kind of saw her not really in shape, not as competitive, but I feel like on season 30 when we saw her, it looked like she had been training a lot and so I don't know, I feel like this team does have a potential to make it far
Mhm.
and just kind of hang in there.
All right. So moving on, we have Davon and Shane. This will be interesting too. Both great rivalry. I think this team got probably the most screen time last night to start the season. Um, Shane is still Lavender Lady Shane. It'll be interesting to see him and Ashley return to the challenge at the same time together. but they look like a very entertaining group to watch together.
Yeah, Davon is from Big Brother. She's done 2 seasons with 5 elimination wins and 2 losses, which is a very good record. She does not have any championships or finals appearances. Is from Road Rules Crawl. He's done 7 seasons with 3 elimination wins and 5 losses, and no finals and no championships. So I don't know. I think Davon is a badass.
Yep.
We do know that Shane does have a lot of like good strengths. Like I've heard he's a very good swimmer. Um, so I don't know. I could see them making it far, but I could also see them be like arguing a lot
Yeah,
and
I'd
just
agree.
not being able to communicate as a team, which is could lead to their downfall.
I definitely see that. I don't know how far that they're going to go, but for the time that they're in the game, be it longer, be it short, I think this team will certainly get a lot of camera time.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm glad because they were rivals in Final Reckoning.
Yeah,
So it's kind of fun to see them come back um and like continue their rivalry after so much time.
absolutely. All right, next we have Devin and Leroy. This should be a very interesting team. Devin's coming off a win in 38 a couple of seasons ago. He's now partnered with Leroy. The two of them seem to be, at least from yesterday, working together probably better than any other rivals pair. The joking about how the two of them have the power bunk bed and their team Devroy, as they say. And to which shout out because I have to. MTV edited like the cover of a tabloid magazine that's like Team Devroy, but then on the side in like the two corners, put a picture of Leroy and Cam and a picture of Michelle and Devin. So Michelle has got about half a
Aw.
second of airtime on All Stars, not to be the only time because now that they're casting people without real world or road rules experience, Michelle will win All Stars someday.
Devin is from RE the 1-3. He's done 8 seasons with an elimination record of 7-3. He is, like you mentioned, a champion of Ride or Dies with 3 finals appearances. Leroy is from Real World Las Vegas. He's done 14 seasons, has 10-6 in eliminations, with no championships but 6 finals appearances. I think this team, honestly, I think if we're gonna get a Leroy win, it would be from this team
Yeah, I'd
because
agree.
we know Leroy is a very physical person, but when it comes to puzzles and anything brain wise, he does very poorly in that.
And
And
that's Devin's strong suit.
exactly. Um, I don't know. I mean, I could see them taking it all the way and winning, but I could also see something where if it's like a swimming challenge, because we know Leroy does not is not a very good swimmer,
Yeah.
for them getting kind of held back or I don't know. We'll have to see how well they complement each other's weaknesses with their own strengths, in the term of the game.
You mentioned swimming challenges. I would imagine we will see more of those because we are back in Vietnam where 40 was. And there
Yeah.
was a lot of water challenges in that season, not only the final, which was in the
And
Philippines, but
like if you think about it, with how hot it is there,
yeah.
honestly, like TJ probably wants them to be in the water because
Yeah,
then they can cool
absolutely.
down and you're not gonna have somebody having a heat stroke.
No, you definitely don't want to be doing a lot of running in Southeast Asia. You also have limited rural area accessible to you in Vietnam because what I've heard is that a lot of the jungles are still mined from the Vietnam War.
Oh, really?
So water is a just a great place to host dailies where there's a lot of accessibility.
Absolutely.
All right. Next we have Frank and Sam, both from the real world San Diego. And this was a team that also got quite a bit of airtime yesterday in terms of just both coming back after so long.
Yeah, Frank, we've seen him on 3 seasons. He has 4 elimination wins with no losses, 1 championship and 2 finals. Sam, we've only seen her on 1 season. She has 2 wins in elimination with no losses, and then 1-1 in championships and finals, obviously. So she
And
has
this one
honestly,
championship is the same championship that both of them share, even though they're rivals from Battle of the Seasons.
and I have a lot of thoughts on this because part of me when I watched the real or not when I watched Battle of the Seasons in the final, seeing the way that Frank treated Sam was absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah,
When he was pushing her on the hill, you don't touch women,
yeah,
period. Um, but the other part of me wants to think that he has grown and learned, and I'm pretty sure that like on a live he did say that he did apologize to Sam.
yeah.
Um,
He does
so
seem to be already noticeably, and we'll see how the season plays out, but a lot more mature than he was on the flagship.
yeah. And I think entertainment wise, he is great. Like I would love to see him I want Frank back on my screen, and I do believe that people are able to learn from their past mistakes, especially when it was televised and there were hundreds of thousands of people judging you for it.
Yeah,
So I really hope he has learned from that, and I'm excited that he's coming back. Sam, I think that it was kind of a crime that they didn't bring her back because she has a perfect record.
yeah.
So, I don't
And I
know.
mean, we've just seen someone in Aviv who came back with a perfect record after many seasons and did amazing. So maybe we have a similar story here with Sam.
Yeah, I do know Frank is obviously a physical beast. We saw him on Battle of the Seasons being like amazing and also on Free Agents when he was like sick with like pneumonia and was still winning eliminations until they forced him to go home.
Yeah,
Also he had a mercenary elimination
yeah,
in I think Vendettas or something. So I'm excited to see him compete, and we'll have to see how Sam is competing after all those years.
yeah. Will definitely be interesting to see. Next team we have the late arriving team, Katie and Veronica. So for you and for anyone who did not see it, um, essentially all the players started the show as usual in the arena. TJ says this is rivals. Everybody freaks out. They're trying to figure out who their partner is because there's some people that it's obvious, and there's others that might have multiple rivals in the game. And in the once they get to the end of the line, Katie is just standing there because Veronica was late to the show. So Katie did not know who her partner was for about the first day or two of the game, while everybody is building that relationship or trying, I guess, to repair a relationship in the case of rivals when you have to work with your partner. Veronica, in contrast, comes out at the first daily and finds herself partnered with Katie, and Katie is not thrilled about it, to say the least.
Yeah, Katie is from Road The Quest. She's done 12 seasons with 4 elimination wins and 9 losses. She is a champion, 1 season and has had 2 finals. Veronica is from Road Rules Semester at Sea, and she's done 14 seasons. In elimination, she has 2 wins and 3 losses with 3 championships and 4 finals appearances. Um, this team, I love Katie. I have watched her on the past All-Star seasons, and I think also some of the earlier seasons that I watched. I really liked her as a character on the show. Veronica, I think, is a perfect example of, don't hate me for saying this, but somebody should have retired
Yeah.
what a while ago.
And that was noticeable yesterday with her just running into the game out of the truck.
Yeah, I don't know. I it always makes me not sad, but I kind of feel bad when like you see athletes or something that were considered one of the greats in their prime, and then they continue trying to drag it out
Yeah.
after they clearly are not in the same physicality or whatever after years, and then it just kind of ruined their reputation because they used to be considered a Mount Rushmore or something, and then now it's like, no. I don't know. I think Veronica's very good at politics. We saw
Yeah,
that on Dirty
absolutely.
30 when she figured out a way to get Leroy into elimination when it was going to be somebody else or something. Um and I don't know. I remember that was a really big political move. So I feel like these girls will be really good at the political aspect, but
I
I
agree.
don't know how they would do in an elimination.
And we got a preview for the season at the end of the episode, which if they're still in it at the time, I'm sure you remember the challenge from 40. They're back jumping off the same building, so have fun, Katie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 'cause she's scared of heights.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for her. 'Cause she actually has a real reason to be scared of the heights.
Yeah.
Like like she's already had a really bad fall. Remember, did you watch that when they were all black?
Pardon?
There was a season where she was scared or she jumped out of whatever and
Yeah.
she got like two black eyes.
Oh
That's
no,
why
I
she's
have not
scared of
seen
it.
that.
Like I feel like she's already like I've already had a bad fall. I don't want to have another one.
Oh geez.
So we'll have to see how it turns out.
Yeah. All right, next team we have Kellyanne and Sylvia. And these are two players that well, in Sylvia's case, she's back after she gave birth recently. Kellyanne's been around the spin-offs for quite a bit lately. She made an appearance on 40, I think.
Yes,
Yes,
she did. Yes, she did.
not for very long, but she was there. So, like a few other players, we're seeing people who just came off that legendary cast, Kellyanne, Devin, going right back to All Stars. Leroy.
Yeah, Kellyanne is from the Real World Sydney. She's done 8 seasons with a 6-6 elimination record. She does not have any championships, but she does have 3 finals appearances. Sylvia is from Real World Skeletons with 4 seasons completed, elimination record of 5-2 with 1 finals, but no championships. I could
And
see
despite
this
having
team.
no championships, Sylvia was extremely close to beating Ashley Mitchell in that probably the most famous final of all time.
Yeah, I could see them doing very well because obviously Kellyanne, I remember I think it was like all one or something. She John A like crossed the finish line. It was only winner or one winner. They didn't get to win. Um, but she is a beast, and I think her exit from 40, like even though she went up against who's obviously a beast in eliminations, she still held her weight very well. She was doing very good. And I think she is obviously like very physically fit. And I could see them going pretty far, especially because, like you said, Sylvia was extremely close to a championship. Um, and she's done very well in like 5 wins and 2 losses is nothing easy to get done.
No, not at all. Very difficult. Yeah, I could definitely see this team going far into the game. We'll see how everything plays out, but I think they're a team to watch for sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on next. We have Melissa and Nicole. Nicole's chaos is back, as we saw last night. Um, Nicole says that another team that they are exes. Nicole says, my girlfriend won't like this, but I don't mind sleeping in the same room as an attractive blonde girl, talking about her partner already. So I don't think this team is going to be able to mesh well. It just seems like a train wreck. And everything with Nicole Zed is a train wreck,
Melissa is
which
from
I
X
feel
on
bad for Melissa because she really does well in seasons where she's on her own.
Yeah. Melissa is from X on the Beach. Okay, too. She's done 4 seasons, 2-2 in eliminations with 1 finals appearance, but no wins. Nicole is from Real World Skeletons. She has done 4 seasons with 2 wins and no losses, no championships, but 3 finals appearances. And I was like, when I was doing this slideshow, I didn't realize how good Nicole actually is.
Yeah,
Like the only time that she didn't make the final was when um she dirt on like double agents or something like that.
yeah.
And I don't know. I think this team, I heard somewhere they were calling themselves team subtitles because can't understand either of them.
Which is hilarious, not only with Nicole being from Brooklyn, but also I'm a big supporter of Liverpool Football Club. Melissa is from Liverpool, so I can understand the Scouse accent, but most people in England don't even understand the Scouse accent. They say, "Can you speak English, please?"
That's really funny. But yeah, I think this team, Nicole should probably just be single for the rest of her life because she is just a serial cheater.
Yeah. You know, TT?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. You just froze for like 20 seconds.
Oh, I just said I could see them hooking up
Yeah, I could
during the
definitely see
season.
that. Um, Nicole's already commented about how she's still attracted to Melissa, yet Melissa's also hooked up with Laurel. So,
Oh, they did hook up?
yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they actually hooked up. I thought they were just
So this is just going to
hanging
be
out.
drama all the way through. I don't know how they'll work together as a team, but they both do have very good competition stats if it can somehow get the out off the field stuff back in line.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
All right, moving on. We have Nani and Turbo. This is a very interesting team. We got a lot of players in this kind of category. Nani, Kellyanne, Leroy, players that you're just kind of surprised when you look at the statistics that they've never actually won the show. And I think there's so many good opportunities here for somebody in this season to get that first win.
Turbo is a champion.
He is, yes.
Sorry, I thought you said that.
No, I said
Um,
Nani, Leroy, Kellyanne,
oh, okay. Yeah. Um,
Anissa.
well, Nani's from the real world Las Vegas. She's done 12 seasons with elimination record of 7 and 10.
Yep,
She's made 4 finals but has not been able to get that championship.
yep,
Turbo is from Survivor Turkey season 8. He's done 3 seasons with no elimination wins but 1 loss. He does have 1 final appearance, which he and it was Worlds, I
yeah.
believe, that some people have said that was the hardest final they've ever had on the flagship. So a lot of people consider him to be a very high caliber of competitor because he won arguably the hardest one. Um, I'm excited for the chaos in this team.
Yeah, I am too. From the first episode, they were a little unique in the fact that they talk later at the end outside, but it's like the whole cast goes to find which beds they want, and Turbo is just chilling in the backyard. I mean, that makes sense from Turbo. We all saw the way he started on 39. Sorry, 38, Ride or Dies. But the chaos will be fun to see if they can work well together, which is a big if. I think they're probably the strongest team here. But
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they'll be able to work well together at all.
a lot of people, I don't know, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I love Turbo. Every time I've seen him on a season when he's telling Jordan he can't copy his walk, this and that, like that's so funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, just entertaining to watch him get so offended and so mad at everybody. Same with on Ride or Dies when he was telling everybody that he was going to see them in elimination and all like
And it's like we're just drinking wine on a boat, Turbo. And they're filming the starting shots just to like be the intro to the season. And it's Jay and Mariah talking, and Michelle with her glass of wine on the bow of a yacht, and Turbo screaming from the back, "I'm gonna get rid of all of you. I'll see you in the next." It's like, what is this guy doing? I mean, it didn't work out for him that season because, as we see, the whole house helps defeat him. I don't think he would have got defeated if it wasn't for the whole house.
I
That's kind
agree.
of the theme of Ride or Dies is the peanut gallery is responsible for who wins the eliminations one week after the next.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see him back because again, I just think he's so entertaining and I feel like this is kind of like him, like Ashley Mitchell. Like I want to see like the loud
Yeah,
drama again. I feel like that's so
especially
entertaining.
on an All-Star season where, again, with the exception of Loyal, that's kind of been lacking for 4 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited for this team. Like you said, I could see them do very well because obviously we know Nani can hold her own in like competition. She got second place close to a championship on Ride or Dies. And we haven't seen Nani since Ride or Dies. So I'm excited to see her back after taking a few seasons off.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's the last one.
Yeah, that is it then. So let's just quickly talk about how everything's going so far. So for the daily, the players had to start by doing a challenge like you've seen many times in Survivor, where they have to jump into a mud pit and carry mud across the course to fill up a bucket to a certain line till they can move on. Then
Oh,
they'll
we
eat.
saw that on Battle of the X's one.
That's
I
right.
think that was the opening challenge
Yeah.
because I remember Robin were there. Oh, speaking of, just super quick.
Yeah. Go
Did
ahead.
you see Robin is all better now?
No.
She
No.
is um she's in recovery. She's
Oh,
been
that's good.
sober for a while, a
Wow.
couple years, I think.
That's amazing.
Anyways. But yeah, I remember seeing that same challenge. It was Johnny and Camilla, Mark Laurel, Paula and Dunbar, like those people on there.
Mm, nice. So they had to do that, and then they had to take cubes of ice and balance them like on chopsticks with each rival holding the top or the bottom across the course, followed by carrying a board with 4 balls on it that were like the small steel balls, and with make it to the other side without dropping them off. The first 4 teams to do them picked up the first opening stars of the season. I'd imagine it'll work some way like it did last All Stars, where now you'll be stealing those 4 stars off of each other. But I mean, you never know what TJ has in store. Um, but so far, just to pull up the list because I have it here in case I've forgotten any. Star holders are Adam and Steve, Ashley K and Dario, Devin and Leroy, and Nani and Turbo, who edged out Big T and Corey Lay by a matter of like half a second.
Are those in order then
Yes.
with placements? Yeah, I mean, I could see those like I'm glad or I'm happy to see that Devin and Leroy are able to have a star, but I also the twist of the stars is kind of hard because it kind of like it puts a target on you if you win eliminations,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks because it's like it causes people to get sent in continuously.
True.
Um, so I don't know. And I really hope that the star thing doesn't change as much as it did last time, like on the finals. Like I don't want the stars to have as much power as they did
Yeah. Agreed.
in the final, but we'll have to see how that goes.
All right. So before we wrap up, let's just close the show this way. We've kind of covered the cast. We brought up a little bit from the first episode. Looking at the rest of the season, and I already have my list. I promise not to change it based on what you say. But who are the 3 teams, let's say, that you're most looking forward to seeing, cheering for, that sort of thing?
The ones I want to see or the
Yeah,
ones that, okay.
Not necessarily who you think is. We'll do a who one team we think's gonna win after, but who's kind of the two like three teams that you're picking that you're excited to see back.
I'm definitely gonna go with Devin and Leroy. I'll say Nani and Turbo, and then uh, it's a hard pick. I don't because I want to say Ashley, but I don't know if I want to say with Anissa. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna say Ashley Mitchell and Anissa, who
I
I'm like looking forward to seeing.
I promised I wouldn't change any of my picks. There's something with us, I guess, both being Michelle fans, because those were my three. We live about 1,800 miles apart, and we're right in sync. What can we do?
That's so funny, and it would happen to us last season too.
Yeah.
But who I think has a really good shot of winning, I would
Let's
probably
pick,
say
just to start before you do that, we just did our three kind of favorites. Let's go with one team that you think is going to win. We'll see how well we do at the end of the show.
uh I'm gonna go with Leroy and Devin.
Nice. That's one that we are not going to agree on yet. Um, I think they'll go far, but I think they'll be big targets too. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. I am. I'm kind of saying the same thing for the other team that I was leaning to pick. I'm gonna go with something that we saw almost work last season and say Adam and Steve.
That's a really good pick. Because Steve was in the final and then Adam just missed the final.
Yeah, and I think they're both players that maybe unlike the other teams that I'm looking at as possibly being the strongest teams, Leroy and Devin, Nani and Turbo, Adam and Steve might just be a little under the radar and be able to grab their star. Well, they have a star, but if they lose it, be able to grab one at the end and not need to keep fighting their way week after week.
Yeah. And I feel like they're not as into like there's a lot of big personalities on this cast, and I think that they would be like able to kind of like you said be under the radar and not cause too much drama to lose their star.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, before we go, player you're most looking forward to seeing this season.
Ashley Mitchell.
Same here. She's been gone for too long. I don't know why she was not on 40.
I agree. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, if she's willing to do this season, 40 was only filmed like what, a month? Well, like a week before the season ended. Oh, sorry, the opposite way around. Like 40 ended and then All Stars 5 was like a week later, maybe
Yeah.
10 days later. Why was Ashley apparently not given a call even for that when it was such a big season? She's a two-time champion. And instead, she's now here. It's not like she's blacklisted from the show because she's here 10 days later. Maybe the timing just didn't work out. Who knows? But what I kind of read online was that they didn't even ask her, which doesn't make any sense to me.
So I read the same article as you, probably the one from Entertainment Weekly
Yeah.
or something like that. She said that she doesn't know if called her or not.
Okay.
And my during that was is a PR response because she did say every time she gets the call, she's always going to come back, and we know that she's been wanting to come back. I think she just didn't like I think that was just the best way of her saying that, but I think that maybe they didn't want her season back to be in the same house as Josh
I could see that. That would make sense.
because allegedly the rumor is that
Started
those
with
two
them.
were in a disagreement.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My thought during that was that kind of wanted to like put her in All Stars, see how everybody reacted without him there, and then transfer her over back to the flagship.
Makes sense. All right. Well, this was an excellent start to the show. We'll be back next week talking about episode 2 when I would assume, have the first elimination of the season. And looking forward to seeing everyone then. Make sure to follow New Generation Challenge podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And also check out any other Reality Realm Network shows. Bruce and I are back tonight filming the cast review for Survivor 48. So it's 2 cast reviews in the span of about 6 hours for me. And then we're also, I guess, watching the trailers.
Tonight,
And
yeah.
yeah, tonight. And then we'll be talking about that over the weekend.
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening, and I'm super excited to continue talking about this season on this podcast.
Perfect. Talk to you after. That went well?
Yeah, I think it went pretty good. Are you still recording or no?
No, I just, oh.